Okay, episode 16. A lot better than the last one, actually, surprisingly enough. There's a nice fight scene at the end, and who knew Michael Jones could actually voice act? I didn't.
Finally, she speaks. Nearly 2 days and you're giving me nothing but small talk and weird looks.
No, I actually mean it. For someone who isn't trained to act, Michael does an incredible job here. A better job than any of the main 4 cast members have done so far at all. The only problem with Sun's dialogue isn't so much the voice acting so much as it is the writing. Not even Michael Jones can sell this stuff to us. It's so stilted and forced, and it's more of a tell rather than a show. How do we show that Sun doesn't like the White Fang either, and that they are bad guys and actual terrorists and not freedom fighters? Well, just have him tell us what he thinks of the White Fang.
Of course. I don't think there's a faunus on the planet who hasn't heard of them. Stupid, holier-than-thou creeps that use force to get whatever they want.
This is more of a broader criticism of the show as a whole. They use this technique very frequently. And again in this episode, right after Sun says this, Blake gives us a big, fat, long, melodramatic monologue about her backstory because that's the best way that they can think of to deliver her backstory to us. The exact same thing that Weiss did in the last episode. She just stands there, or in this case, sits there, and gives us a big long speech telling us, oh, this is what happened to me and this is why my character is this way. It's so fucking lame, and it's not good writing either. Another thing, just minor note, why does Blake not talk like a human being? Why does she talk as if she's reading something rather than actually speaking as a person? Is it because the writers don't know how to write like proper dialogue that sounds like something a human would say?
I decided I no longer wanted to use my skills to aid in their violence, and instead I would dedicate my life to becoming a huntress.
Does that sound normal to you? I don't know, I'm probably just fucking reading too much into this. Anyway, we have another pointless, extraneous, unneeded side character that could easily be replaced by someone who's already in the show, Penny. And again, this character has better voice acting than any of the main cast. Weird, right? Also, if you didn't know Penny was like a robot by now, you're a fucking idiot. Shit's more obvious than fucking Blake's cat ears. For fuck's sake. Also, I'd like to point out this hilarious line.
Weiss is. Is she friends with Blake? Well, that's kind of up in the air right now.
It's pretty funny that RWBY knows about as much about Blake and Weiss's relationship as we do.
We're not exactly the most inconspicuous bunch of thieves at the moment, so why don't you animals try to pick up the pace?
Look who's back! It's that guy. I forgot his name. I'm gonna look it up now. Sorry, hang on. Roman Torchwick. Okay. Roman Torchwick is back, and pretty funny that Torchwick just calls the White Fang animals right to their face. It's like calling them the N-word or something. It sounds like really rude and really bad, but they don't seem to give a fuck. I wonder if that comes up later. Like, is he racist? Is he like a big racist? We'll have to find out later. We get a really nice fight scene. It's not perfect, obviously, but I mean, it's pretty great. We get to see Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, do his fucking extender staff bullshit that he does in fucking everything. I wouldn't call it original, but I mean, the classics are classics for a reason. They work. Then Penny shows up and does that, which is pretty cool. I don't know how that ties into Pinocchio, but you know, I don't think Pinocchio ever fought anyone. I don't know. I'm not a scholar on fairy tales, so you know, if there was a bit in the original fairy tale where Pinocchio summoned a bunch of blades out of his back and telekinetically sent them at like bad guys, yeah, sorry, I missed that at some point. Also, you'll have to forgive me, but are we ignoring the no-kill rule here? Because Penny's trying to kill people with swords, and I figured that's kind of dark for a pretty light-hearted character. Just this like sentient robot warrior girl trying to just slash people in half with giant fucking swords. In fact, that's a question I'd like to pose to the entire series. Like, is killing bad guys like a bad thing, or do they just not give a fuck? Just not one of the many questions I have while watching RWBY. Oh yeah, strings. Get it? Pinocchio? Get it? Yeah. After impaling and murdering a bunch of terrorists, she charges up like a big green laser and cuts 2 VTOL planes in half, sending them crashing down into the sea, where they almost assuredly sank to the bottom and probably drowned whoever was inside them if they didn't die from the impact. That was pretty cool. Didn't have any problems with that. Just wondering whether Penny cares that she's murdering all these people. Then again, they are faunuses, so I'm not entirely sure if they're technically people. Anyway, after all the murder and destruction, all the teammates get back together, and Blake and Weiss apologize. Well, no, they don't, but it's fixed now. Yeah, they're not upset, or were they upset? They're not angry. They're
I don't care.
same. No, really. It's the way this is resolved at the end is it's incredibly reflective of how I was feeling as I was watching it. You know, after seeing like a big fight scene with like the enemy character actually showing up for once, and you know a group of furry terrorists and everything, all of this internal conflict between Blake and Weiss suddenly seems very small potatoes. It seems very pathetic. You get given a massive amount of perspective, to the point where this drama that suddenly seemed like the most important thing in the world last episode doesn't seem so important anymore. And I think the characters are responding the same way we are, and you know, that's fine. You know, after seeing all this shit, it's hard for them to really get mad about the fact that she used to be a terrorist. It's like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, can we just status quo? Come on. We have a show. Status quo, please. Thank you. Overall, this episode is a step up from the last terrible episode, but the only reason that is so is because it's 1, longer, and thus has more time, and 2, had more fighting than talking. Because any time these characters talk, it makes me want to pick up like a drawing compass that you use to make circles, like perfect circles with, and like get the sharp bit at the end and stick it directly into my eye, because it's that fucking terrible. And you know, so it's not a thrilling compliment for me to say this is a step up, because the only step up is the fact that there was less speaking. All of the speaking, all of the dialogue, all of the story and character stuff in this show is bad, and it makes me wish I was not watching the show, which is not exactly what you want your audience to feel when watching the show. We get an end where it doesn't have the usual credits as these. Is that because it's the finale? Let me check. Hang on. Is it the finale? Is there more episodes in the season after this? No. Oh, okay, that's the season finale. Oh, holy shit. Okay, that puts the whole thing into perspective, doesn't it? So, like, the whole arc of the season was... Well, there wasn't one. In fact, these last 2 episodes are mostly self-contained. Anything in these episodes were introduced and dealt with within the same episodes. So, except for Torchwick, but he didn't do anything. He was in the first episode and the last one. That doesn't... I'd hardly call him a main villain. Oh, and then we have this post-credit scene. These characters we don't know talk. Buy the disc! Buy the Blu-ray, you fucking pieces of shit!
Guest starring world-famous voice actor Jessica Negri.
Yeah, so it looks like they cast a chick famous for being both 1, balding, 2, having big tits as their main villain. Probably to get a bit more mainstream attention. Good job, Rooster Teeth! Fantastic fucking work. You're nailing these voice actor castings out of the fucking park, you idiots.